sponsors and guests, good evening.
Good evening.
The first time I gave the presidential address, I thought it was a miracle. But now I'm doing it again. So I guess miracles can keep happening again and again. Like our Sergeant at Arms says, don't give in circumstances, can come again and again and you have to accept it. As I walked into the door, he said, give the presidential address. I said, okay. I read this book called You Can Win by Shiv Khera. How many of you have read it? Okay, this is one of the stories from that, so you might recognize it. It's a story about a man who had two sons. When they grew up, one of the sons turned out to be a big police officer in the city. The other son was an absolute criminal who would spend a lot of time in jail. Now, because this man was a police officer, people became curious and they started to understand his family life. Then they realized that he's got a brother who's a criminal. And so they checked with this brother who's a criminal and they asked him, how come you have a brother who's a police officer in the city and then you are like this? He said, I grew up looking at my father. My father was walking every day, drunk, he beat my mother. He used to do all kind of dirty things. And then I thought, this must be the way to be. This must be the way to live. And so he became like that. And so they were curious. Now they asked the other person, the police officer. And then he said, I grew up looking at my father. He used to beat my mother daily, come drunk, all dirty things. And I decided, this is not the way to live. So you have a choice. You have a choice. As a Toastmaster, you have a choice. At the risk of sounding cliche, the catchphrase on Toastmasters website says, be the speaker and leader that you want to be. So it is a personal choice that we have to make on what we want to be. Coming back to the story again, it's a choice what we want to do in life and what we want to get out of Toastmasters. We have some wonderful Toastmasters here and we have a great meeting ahead of us. To carry us through this meeting, we have a wonderful Toastmaster. Toastmaster plus Master of Ceremonies. I saw him do the final meeting. I was very impressed at short notice. And being a Toastmaster for a very short time, we did a wonderful job. I was thoroughly impressed. Please welcome Mr. Ram.